Welcome to Local SEO in 10. This is your go-to podcast for answers about how you can grow your local business online easily and quickly. Brought to you by local SEO experts Magnified Media in Walnut Creek, California. In each 10-minute episode, our digital marketing expert Adam Duran answers your questions on how you can get more leads for your business fast. Remember, if you're not taking care of this part of your business right now, you can bet your competitors are. And now, here's our host with the questions, Jamie Duran, and our expert with the answers, Adam Duran.
Hello, Adam.
Hey, Jamie.
How is everything in the land of search engine optimization?
It's busy.
Really?
It's always busy, but man, Google's going crazy right now. So, we are riding the waves.
Nice.
Yes.
Because every one of those changes means, Adam, something didn't work.
Yeah, something happened. Yes, it is. But that's why they pay me the big bucks, Jamie.
All right. Excellent. Well, and that's why you can donate your time to doing the Local SEO in 10 podcast.
I like doing this podcast just because it gives me a chance to kind of educate business owners about what they can expect and, what they can do themselves to kind of take control. It's all learnable and it's all doable. So, why not help give them the tools and the understanding to do so?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds like a little knowledge is very dangerous.
Well, we're trying to give them a lot of knowledge then. Especially in today's podcast.
All right. What are we talking about in today's episode?
All right. So say, for example, you have an old website, and you're like, okay, it's time to build a new one. So, but Jamie, when you build a new website, you can destroy any trust that you've gained with your old website unless you do it properly. So today I'm going to talk about the steps that you should take to avoid an SEO disaster during your website redesign.
Okay.
So this doesn't go with if you don't have a website and you're building a new one. This is if you're redesigning your site, what you need to be talking with your designer so that way your results don't tank. Because if you make any of these mistakes that I'll talk about, your website's gonna tank, and that's gonna hurt your business. So you want to be aware of all of these things and make sure they're done correctly so that doesn't happen.
Yeah, makes sense. Last week I talked about maybe instead of starting with the website, starting with the SEO and then make the website around the SEO.
Yeah, well, if you're going to redesign your site, and SEO is a great reason to do that. If you don't know what's happened, or you have an SEO focused designer coming in, then definitely they should know what they're doing about this. So, but one thing, the reason this is kind of important is, and the reason it happens, this is that Google is all about trust, right? So the user goes to Google looking for an answer. Google gives them a bunch of places where they can potentially get that answer. If they click on that link on Google and it takes you to a broken page, then that trust dissolves, right?
Yeah.
So when that happens a lot, Google starts saying or starts becoming aware that your website doesn't have a lot of trust. And so they stop showing your results. And that definitely, that's like, if you know what a yellow pages is, it's like, you go and look for that business or that whatever that service and it's not there. So definitely you want to make sure that you follow all these steps. Okay.
Ready.
All right. All about trust. So keep that trust. So first thing is you want to make a plan. You want to see, all right, we're going to be moving. We're going to be changing these pages. We're going to add content to these pages, that kind of stuff. You want to kind of write out what you want to keep, what you think you don't want to keep. And then second step, make a backup of your site right now. So before you start anything, make a backup, because any kind of changes could break your site potentially. So you always want to have a backup that you can install, within minutes, and then you'll be fine. Most kind of web hosts, they have that backup service. There are plugins if you have WordPress that you can make a backup of your site really easy. I know a lot of the website builders, they do it automatically too. So
Okay.
always have a backup. That makes sense, right?
Yeah, that's how I live my life.
One backup at a time. All right. All right. Thanks, Vin. And next, when you're thinking about new pages, changing any kind of page, the title or it's called the URL, the address at the top of that page, be very, very, very careful. Okay. Because if you change those and now Google sends someone to the old one that's broken, you have one of those broken page errors, and that will hurt your site a lot. So you want to do your best to maintain the URLs, those names of every page. So if you have, blog posts, if you have any kind of page on your website, you want to make sure that you know all of those pages and their URLs. You can get a software called like Screaming Frog will do that, or just look up online. There are sites they'll scan your entire site. You can also look on your site map, and you can get that through WordPress. And anyway, just look up, how do I get my site map? You want to make sure that you maintain all of those URLs. If you're going to be changing those, like you're going to be changing, that URL for some reason, you want to shorten it or change it in any way, then there's something called a 301 redirect. Ever heard of that?
Not in terms of local SEO, but definitely in terms of highway traffic.
I'm out on the 301. Well, this is kind of like that. But what it does, at the server level or at the site level, it will route someone to the correct page. So if for some reason that old page name is somewhere on a link that somebody has, like it's a backlink, basically what you're doing is routing that person to the correct page. So doing those for every page that you're changing, definitely you want to do that, because then that'll avoid that issue of those broken 404 pages.
Got it.
All right. Now, the next one is a kind of a no-brainer, but we've seen this happen many times with our clients when when we've seen it happen in the past where they have changed their website host. And then they said to their old host, all right, screw you, we're moving on. And the old host says, okay, we're turning you off. Click. And then a month passes, and then they still don't have a website. So what that has done now, it's trained Google that your site is untrustworthy. So what do you think happens then?
Your ranking goes down.
Yeah, it goes into the crapper pretty fast. And consequently, it'll take months and months to regain that trust. So when this happens, that next company or, your next site, you have to keep plugging away. You have to when that has happened, you have to keep creating great content, and eventually that traffic will come back. But it's eventual.
Yeah.
And when I say eventual, it could be anywhere from 3 to 6 to 8 months where you're producing content, awesome stuff, but nobody's seeing it because of that 1 month or 3 week or even 1 day your site could have been down. It depends on your traffic. If you have tons of traffic and suddenly, blam, there it's all gone, then blam, your rankings are all gone too.
Okay.
All right. So that is a big no. So the last one I want to say is avoid deleting any pages if you can, right? We talked about that 301 redirect. If you can keep that same page name, you can add different content there, but just keep that URL the same. That is also a great thing to keep in mind. So anytime you do this, anytime you have those broken links like that or those broken pages, it's going to have a major effect. So avoid that. Avoid.
Okay.
All right. So weirdly, that's all I have. This is actually, I know I didn't want to get too detailed, but from an owner perspective, these are the main pitfalls you want to watch out for and the things you want to do when you're going to be moving on or changing or redesigning your site.
Well, I have some questions, of course.
Go.
All right. So let's just say you're auditing your site, or even the best is when you get a client who says, hey, I went to your website and I got that page not found when I tried to do the whatever. am I completely screwed now in terms of my local SEO?
No, but you want to fix it.
Yeah.
If it's a high value page or for some reason Google has, or if it's linked to if there are many links to that page on the internet, you want to put in a 301 redirect. So to make sure that it goes to the correct page. Yeah.
Okay.
There's many tools that will crawl your site and tell you in big bold letters, "Hey, dummy, there's a lot of broken pages on there. Fix them." And there's Neil Patel's I think it's called Uber Suggest, that you can sign up for that for free and put in your site, and it'll tell you, when stuff breaks, because weirdly it can break. I don't know.
Oh yeah, very strange.
Well, if you have links that are going to other sites, a lot of times those can break and you have no control.
Well, I have tons more questions, but
Go.
I will save them for next time.
Okay.
Even better, I'll go onto the Magnified Media site and search the episodes for past topics.
Woo!
So I can see if they have already been answered. And you can too, listeners. You can go onto Magnified Media site, look for the podcast link. Hopefully that's not a broken one. And there's like a teeny tiny little magnifying glass. And if you find that, you can put in any topic you want, and it's now searchable. All the episodes are searchable, which is huge improvement. So that works great.
You are correct, sir.
Great. And then for our listeners, if you are listening to this, make sure to share this podcast with anyone that's in your networking circles, whether it's a downtown coalition or a chamber of commerce or networking group, because everyone needs a website and everyone needs it to work properly to drive business to them. And so they can enjoy the fruits of their business rather than trying to generate new business all the time. So
Excellent.
Make sure to review and give us 5 stars on whatever platform you're listening to. And we will talk to you next week.
Thanks a lot, everybody.
That's all for now. Thanks for listening to this episode of Local SEO in 10 with Google local marketing expert Adam Duran. Join us each week for answers to your questions on how to best harness the power of the internet to grow your business. Speaking of questions, got some? Message us through our Facebook page, Local SEO in 10, and we'll be sure to give you your answer on an upcoming episode. This episode of Local SEO in 10 is brought to you by Magnified Media, the leading online marketing agency in Northern California, who invite you to grow your business by magnifying your online visibility and credibility. Visit them on the web at www.magnifiedmedia.com. Magnify your business, magnify your profits.